Hello again, YouTube world. It's your girl, Dana Monet, here once again to recap season 15 of American Idol, the farewell season. And we are finally into the top 10. So really excited about that. I do apologize for getting this video up later than normal, as well as last week's video, but you know, life happens, but I'm here for you. So I'm going to get actually right into it. I'm not going to waste a lot of time talking about Wednesday's show. To me, it was an abysmal show. It was just significant in letting everybody know who were the main players in this season of, American Idol and who needed to step up their game. So just to kind of state what went down on Wednesday. I'm not going to go into the performances, but just state how it went down. Originally, we were all told that the judges were going to choose 8 contestants to automatically be sent to the top 10. And then we, as the viewers, would vote 2 contestants in as wild cards to complete the top 10. Well, what ended up happening is that the judges were only able to agree on 4, which made it better for us because us as the viewers had more power, which is what should happen anyways, which is what the show was centrally based on originally. So the fact that we didn't get to pick all of them still baffles me, and the fact we couldn't vote in the semifinals still baffles me. But anyhow, I was happy that they only picked 4, and I couldn't be mad with the 4 they picked. They called them fast passes, and the 4 that they picked were Renae, Dalton Rapattoni, Olivia Rox, Trent Harmon. Can't be mad with any of those 4 getting the automatic push to the top 10, especially considering kind of how abysmal the performances were, and even, some of my favorites didn't give like the best performance. So we're gonna keep that part short. I do have to say, in terms of who ended up making the top 10 before Thursday night, I had everybody right except for Jen. Lijon ended up getting that spot. Jen, but I did actually predict that Gianna would be there. I did. And you want to know why? The reason why is because Gianna is not the best singer. She's a competent singer. She's not an exciting singer. She sang better than a lot of the contestants that night. And I mean, looking at the grades that I gave people, it was just, I really wasn't surprised about that. So the official top 10 is Olivia Rox, Gianna Isabella, Lijon, Avalon Young, Tristan McInstosh, Mackenzie Bourg, Renae, Sonika Vaid, and Trent Harmon. And I'm actually going to discuss everybody's performances because we're in top 10, so I got to talk about everybody. So one of the things that I noticed was that there was no theme. They just kind of went out there and sang what they wanted, which I kind of liked. There was no like crazy theme that, we couldn't grab onto and be like, why are they singing this song? This doesn't even work or whatever. So it wasn't like it was only a list of 25 songs, sing anything that clears. Also, no electric chairs. So you don't have to worry about, they did the eliminations right at the top of the show. They let everybody know who were the remaining 6 that made it into the top 10, which was excelente. And then they went to a commercial break, and then, we started, doing the performances. But I like the fact that they got rid of that and they realized that that was the worst part of last season and why we probably didn't get a lot of great performances out of those contestants last season, even though they were really great contestants. Those electric chairs of doom had to go, and they did. And probably the best part of all about the top 10 was that Kelly Clarkson was there, pregnant and about to pop, but I still love her personality, her voice, just her whole demeanor, and her mixture at the judges table, I think was really kind of forcing the other judges, even if the producers may have told them to say something, they couldn't help but be like truthful. Kelly has a really interesting way of, giving critique in the nicest possible way, but still saying like, this is what you need to work on. You know what I mean? So I definitely love Kelly. And I mean, her performance, I mean, my eyes got teary-eyed. I watched it back a couple of times. I was like, piece by piece, you collected me. I was like, yo, if I ever sang this song, I would probably cry. Like, no wonder she's crying. And it's not just because she's pregnant. Because there's a whole bunch of people who weren't pregnant that was crying at that. Keith Urban's a man. He can't get pregnant. He was bawling. I love Keith Urban for that. I was almost about to write Keith Urban off, but he was bawling during Kelly's performance. So I'm back with Keith Urban. He's cool in my book. All right. So enough of the shenanigans. I thought the top 10 night was probably the best episode of American Idol this season. I feel that Kelly Clarkson's presence did help with that, but also the performances were so much better than what I've seen all season. Honestly, if Kelly wasn't 9 months pregnant, I'd be like, get a seat at that judge's table and stay there. Like, for real, because she brings so much, such a nice little dry sense of humor and, good critiques from somebody who's been there. And I just think that it would have been fitting for her to continue to be on the judging panel. But I believe that Demi Lovato is going to be the judge this week. So not mad. I thought they were going to be Idol alums, but I love Demi. Demi doing her thing right now. She sang in front of the president. So more power to Demi Lovato. So looking forward to that. All right. Now I am officially going to go into the performances for the week. And I'm going to give, a brief description and my letter grade. So we have Olivia Rox, who sang Unconditionally by Katy Perry. And I think that the song actually fit her very nicely because Olivia has a very, very interesting tone. And so does Katy Perry, but Olivia is a better singer. So it really kind of worked. And I loved the soft part of her voice in the beginning, when she was unconditional. And she did it real nice and soft and pretty. And it just kind of drew you in and you were like, ooh, like, when is she going to hit the big note? And then she did some crazy run up in there. And I was like, oh, you better get it, girl. But she still needs to work on her like performance quality and sing it in the pocket. It's very important because like I said before, her voice is very special. It's a very unique voice, but she has to pick songs that will allow her to be able to sing on the beat and sing on the rhythm, or she just needs to work on that. It's hard with like that heavy tone that she has, but I definitely was enjoying Olivia Rox and she got a B+ for me. So good job to Olivia. Gianna Isabella sang Listen by Beyonce. As I mentioned earlier, I'm not as shocked as some other people that she ended up making it. But I think that the intrigue of her singing this song was interesting, but I knew that her execution was going to be kind of blah because she's like kind of a flatline singer. Like, she's a good singer for like a high school talent show. For the most part, she can stay on pitch, not in that performance, but for the most part, she's been on pitch. But that song has like so much range and it didn't go anywhere. And she didn't even do the big notes. If you she didn't even do that. I feel like that part of the song is like singing And I Will Always Love You and not doing the and I. Like, you have to do those parts of the song. And it was kind of like she either couldn't hit the note, so she did something different that didn't work, or that's the way that it was arranged. And if that was the way that it was arranged for her to do it like that, that was really stupid. And I don't think that's what happened. I think that she got to that and realized that she couldn't hit the note, so she like backed off. And I've been there before, but she needs to learn how to make better choices with her voice and learn, like, if you can't quite hit the note, what is something else that I can do interesting that even though I can't quite do this, I can still, make an impact, even though I'm not hitting, the big note. But in any event, she just shouldn't have chosen that song. So Gianna gets a C for that. Then Lee Jean went up and he sang Skinny Love by Bon Iver. And, I'll say this. I think that his story is very compelling. Him, dealing with his brother's death. I liked his intro package. I thought it was very, genuine. And I liked his hair. He didn't have the hat on and he had like the little twisties and stuff like that. All right, 3 nice things out of the way. That's how Melinda Doolittle does it from Reality Check. 3 nice things. All right. So to me, Leah's proven once again, just like Gianna, that he's just simply not ready. He's officially the Black Daniel Seavey. I called it on his audition, and I'm sticking to that. Him and Daniel have very similar ways of singing. Their falsettos are both handicapped, and I understand that your voice is changing, but they just don't have like strong enough voices. I mean, he's branching out at least from singing Ed Sheeran, but it's just nothing there. It's like he already goes out there with a defeated, attitude, like, I know I'm going to lose anyway because there's better singers. Like, at least try. Like, do you try to sing? Like, his whole, it's just, no. I can't get with the Legion. Kelly called him out on the Ed Sheeran stuff that the judges should have called him out on weeks ago. And then this week he didn't even sing an Ed Sheeran song. But it was just like a high school talent show, just like Gianna. And, I just don't see it happening for him at all. So he got a C-. Avalon Young. Now, y'all know Avalon has been one of my favorites, but I haven't been too fond of her last 2 performances. So she sang Stitches by Shawn Mendes. And I feel like she's kind of getting away from her like laid back, chill, comfortability quality that she had in the beginning, where she just had no inhibition and she just kind of went through it for it and felt the music. Like, I feel her being more nervous, which is understandable because you're on the big stage. It's live. It's not taped. And, things are happening. They put a little bit of makeup on her. They did her hair, which I love. She's still in her same clothes, but I just think they may not have even needed to put any makeup on her. Maybe just do her hair a little bit and just some moisturizer and some gloss. Maybe they didn't need all of that, but I like the fact that they did her hair. Maybe that's throwing her off. I hope not. But if she needs to not have the hair and makeup to be herself, then let her not have the hair and makeup, because I need the original Avalon. I need EXO Avalon. I need Yo Avalon from the showcase, not the when she sang Yo on Wednesday night, but I need the showcase Yo, right? So I kind of like the halftime feel. Harry always likes to point out those types of things, but it took her a while to settle in. She would get there and then she would pull back. She would get there and then she would pull back. And I think that her voice sounds good, and I definitely think that she deserves to stay. I think that she needs to get back on that acoustic guitar and sing another like pop R&B tune. And that's kind of what I think that Avalon should do. And I really, really, really want her to sing Waterfalls by TLC, because I think that would be a really cool choice for her. It's not like a real current song like what she's been doing, but it's a song that everybody knows. It's right in her lane, that R&B, like hip hop, pop. And I want her to do the rap part. And I want her to do it on her acoustic guitar. Like, I could just totally see it. Like, I'd be like, seen a rainbow yesterday, but too many storms. And her getting everybody to clap. Like, that could be a moment. Who sings that type of song on reality singing competition shows? Anyway, I gave Avalon a B. So that was Avalon. And next was Dalton Rapattoni. And he sang Hey There Delilah by Plain White Tees. And I will start off by saying this. Dalton is not my favorite contestant by a long shot. However, I can't knock his hustle. I feel like he's one of the few contestants that, really got up on stage and sang in tune the entire way through. And he also knows how to work the crowd and connect to the audience. And it's very organic to him. It's not like forced. It's not like I have to look in the camera, and I see a little bit of the Colton Dixon comparisons that people have made. But, I just think that at the end of the day, he's comfortable on stage. And, that's very important, in this business. He's comfortable in his own skin. So I just think that he has an ease about him. And I think that he had a good performance again. Not my favorite singer, but I like him. I do. I gave him a B+ because I think he did his thing. Tristan. Oh, Tristan. She sang Nothing Like You by Dan and Shay. Tristan has fallen off. This was not a good song choice for her. The beginning actually sounded nice. because it was slower. But then once the beat dropped and the tempo kicked in, she just completely lost it. I don't know why she is singing these types of songs. Like, I understand that she is 15, but doesn't she know that what she did in her audition was what worked the best and what we loved about her? Her yearning and feeling and singing at the piano and just singing a ballad and a beautiful song. She's gone away from that, and that's why she might be this week one of their golden children. And I think that they stopped thinking of her as a golden children at this point because they realized that she's not ready for prime time. And Jennifer Lopez just suddenly realized that there were a whole bunch of 15-year-olds in the top 10. Like, duh. Y'all realized that a long time ago. But yes, there's a whole bunch of 15-year-olds that are not ready, that are in the top 10. But anyway, I felt like she was out of the pocket of the song. She felt like she was out of tune for about 3/4 of the song. This was like the worst that I've actually heard her sound in terms of pitch. And her low notes were just falling off the end of her phrases. To me, she has so much promise and potential. And, you know, she really does have a nice tone when used properly. She really needs to work with a vocal coach. But she hasn't beat her audition, and, you know, she needs to get back to that, as I mentioned earlier, and give a heartfelt vocal that doesn't have crazy rhythmic changes. Like, that song was kind of like all over the place for her. She's not picking the right songs, and, you know, it's a hot mess. She got a D+. Sorry, Tristan. And I like Tristan, and I think that she looked really, really cute. But yeah, Tristan, I feel bad because I liked her in the beginning. And despite all of the producer pimpage and everything like that, but now it's just like, it ain't nothing I can do. Sorry. Next was Mackenzie, and he sang I See Fire by Ed Sheeran. I have to say, I really do like Mackenzie. I really do. But he has to take us away from the obvious. Unlike Lee, who does a lot of Ed Sheeran, Mackenzie does actually have the ability to be creative and interesting, and he failed to do that. Like, I loved when he sang his original song. You know, I love what he did with Can't Help Falling in Love. I love what he did with his audition and did a medley of the judges' songs. Like, he needs to do stuff like that. Doing something by Ed Sheeran, like, that's so predictable, completely predictable. He didn't really do a lot to, like, really change it up. Like, you can't do an Ed Sheeran song if everybody sees you as, like, the Ed Sheeran. Like, you can't. You sound like him. It's hard to differentiate yourself from him. So it wasn't a bad performance. You know, I think it was nice. I think he did try to push his voice a little bit vocally. But since he doesn't have the strongest voice or the greatest, you know, performance quality, you know, he has to compensate with originality. And, you know, I don't think he's going anywhere this week. But if he wants any chance, you know, to win, he has to be original. You know, otherwise, with all of this other talent in the top 10, he's going to be going, bye, bye, bye. Just had to throw that in there. I like to sing in the middle of stuff, if you haven't noticed. Next, we are getting to my favorite, Miss La Portia Renae. Homegirl sang Diamonds by Rihanna, came out there decked out in diamonds for all we know. I mean, it could have been Swarovski crystals, or it just could have been cubic zirconias. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, because they were sparkling and they looked great on stage. La freaking Portia slayed. Okay? Just like the Beyonce song, she slayed. I slay all day. All right? And that was the best performance I feel she's done the entire season. Easily the best performance of the night. And I kind of feel like she should have closed the show, especially because of the impact, you know, that she got afterwards in the response. The entire song was filled with runs, yes, and that may not be everybody's cup of tea, but she hit every single run. She stayed on pitch, she stayed in tune, she did stuff that was different. You know, I feel like that was like the first idol moment, you know, of the season. I loved at the end when she was like, shine bright like a diamond. I don't even remember how she did it. She was like, diamond, or something like that. I was like, I better get it. I was throwing shoes and everything. I don't think that it was quite the like Candace Glover love song moment or like the Joshua Lidette Mad World, but it was definitely an amazing performance. It was a moment, but it wasn't like the defining moment of her run. Like, I think she has so much more to give, and she showed restraint too, which is the craziest part. She's like doing all these runs and she's going this and she'll pull it. Oh, Oh, I love that girl. She can literally sing anything. She can sing the phone book. She's just in a completely different league and universe than the rest of the contestants. It's crazy. And that tends to backfire, but I hope that it doesn't for her. And, Kelly says she should win, then Kelly's right. She couldn't even help herself because Kelly likes that kind of singing. And you know what? So do I, Kelly. So do I. So, yes. So I was like, ooh, Sonika Vaid was next, and she has to follow LaPortia. So she sings "Bring Me to Life" by Evanescence, which is already a very interesting, out of the box choice for her because she's kind of been like very pop princessy and big ballady type of thing. So she sings this rock song. So, Sonika was like, hold up, LaPortia, I got you. You know what I'm saying? She's following her, and that's no small feat, but Sonika came out swinging. Her voice was on point. I never seen her have that much fire and angst. And I just think that LaPortia fueled this fire that she's going to go out there and she's going to play to win. And that is what you got to do. You got to play to win. And I feel like there were two people who really played to win tonight. It was some nice performances, but I feel like two people really played to win and went up there like they were going to win. And that was LaPortia and Sonika. This is my personal opinion. Y'all can feel how you want to feel. But she said, don't sleep on me. And I love the song that she chose. And that song kind of has a history on Idol. Angie Miller sang it in season 12 and Gina Irene sang it in season 13. And I have to say, I think I liked Sonika's version the best. Oh, and if I didn't mention, I gave LaPortia an A+. I'm just saying that. And I still think that she needs to loosen up a bit more. And her eye contact was a little bit, too like obvious. Like she needs to just work on it being like fluid and the blocking and everything like that. And the dress maybe could have been a little bit more dramatic. But all of that aside, I feel like she's coming out of her shell and she's getting it. And I would not be mad if Sonika won this show. I think that would be like really, really cool. I really think that she's capable of growth in this competition and has a chance for a really, really good trajectory. And she, has the capability to surprise us every week. So I'm interested to see what Sonika, brings to the table each week. So I gave her an A-. And last but not least was Trent Harmon, and he sang "Like I Can" by Sam Smith. I did really enjoy his vocal, although he still has those tics and things, that he does with his voice that aren't the most pleasant. He can sing though, which is important. I'm just not sure he knows how to be really subtle. Even when he was trying to pull back, it wasn't like subtle enough. He needs to work on his falsetto and the different ranges of the falsetto, like the hard falsetto and then the soft falsetto. I'd like to actually see him sing a song by a woman because he actually has a really, high voice. He has a nice range. So he could sing a song by a female and, probably not have to change the key. And I'd like to see, kind of how he does on that. He's a very unique tone. It's an acquired taste. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But I just think that if he works on his dynamics a little more and understands how to pull back and not always push his vocals and his vibrato, he'd, do a lot better. I feel the music during his performance, though, was too low. It's like either the music was too low or they had his mic turned up too high, but they needed to mix that better and balance better. But that wasn't his fault at all. And I think that he needs to go back kind of on his guitar. Like when he sang that, what was it, Chris Stapleton song? Like I liked that. Just really intimate and just feeling it, the emotion. And, I kind of wanted to be like an R&B pop ballad type of thing or whatever. And him just, wow us and don't overdo it with the vibrato and just sing, just needs to refine it. So I gave him a B+. And I talked about this earlier, Kelly freaking Clarkson, she just made an ocean of tears with her performance. It was like really, really compelling and amazing. And I mentioned that she should have been the fourth judge. So all hail Queen Kelly Clarkson. My predictions are, I think, pretty obvious based off of the performances. And I will not be happy if this doesn't happen, but either Gianna, Lee, and Tristan have to go. Like, they should be the bottom 3. And 2 of them should go home because they're eliminating 2 contestants this week, and it'll be a top 8. So I think that everybody else kind of like proved why they should be there, even though it wasn't everybody's best performances. I think that they proved, that they should be there, and I don't think that Gianna, Lee, and Tristan did that. And they're the 3 teenagers. Olivia's a teenager too, but she's on a different level. Right? She's the best teenager out of there. Olivia is the only teenager that needs to stay in the competition, as far as I'm concerned. The only one. That's it. So we can get rid of, if I had to get rid of 2, it would be Tristan and Lee. I would actually keep Gianna another week. Only, and this is weird, because I probably would have said Tristan 2 weeks ago, but only because I feel like Gianna tries. She just has been taught a lot of the wrong things. And I just feel like if maybe they just not giving her the right critique or something, but she just like needs to have an out of body experience. I don't know. Like, if she stays next week, like if she stays this week, like I would probably want her to be eliminated next week. So it really doesn't matter. But I think that she has potential for a moment, possibly, aside from Lee and Tristan. Lee is going to give the exact same thing. Tristan has had chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. She started out being one of the chosen ones, TCOs, and she fell off. So, I'm not giving her any more chances. But I do feel like there are 7 legitimate contestants that could win the show, and that's LaPortia, Mackenzie, Avalon, Sonika, Olivia, Dalton, and Trent. And, I would be most happy probably with LaPortia, Avalon, Sonika, or Olivia. So I guess all the girls. So the girls have to stick together. We have to stay. So, but if Dalton, Trent, or Mackenzie wins, I couldn't be mad. But those are the only 7 acceptable remaining contestants that need to be there. Actually, they could just go ahead and eliminate Gianna, Tristan, and Lee and just have a top 7 and then just do it one person every week from that point on. That would be great. We can just cut the fat, right? All right. So this has gone on for quite a minute. So I will be ending this. I do like to say that The Voice did start this week. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be recapping The Voice as I did last season. We'll see how it goes. But my girl Christina is back. So I might just have to recap just for Christina. So, but until next week, see you later. Bye.